This is what you must know as an African child, that the white man or the Europeans will not let African be. Right from the business of John Hawkins and the late Queen Elizabeth II, right from that period that she chose to invest in the slavery business or the business of John Hawkins, Sir John Hawkins. Right from that period that she gave out the slavery ship, she has labeled, or they have labeled as Jesus Lubeck. Right from that period, they see everything about the puppet. They see the puppet as their business. They see Africa as their business. They see their colonies as their business. They establish the business. They own the business. So they devise a lot of methods, different methods, to control the business that belongs to them. So the colonial factors, the aliens, see and still see the African nations as the business of their ancestors. That these businesses, these colonies, are the businesses established by their ancestors. So all the proceeds, all the wealth, all the resources that we have in these different nations, the colonial factors, the aliens, still see or believe, they confidently believe that these resources, these mineral resources, these businesses, the proceeds that we have in these different nations are theirs. That is why they will not let African be. That is why they will not let their colonies be. That is why they will not let these resources be and be enjoyed by the African nations. Why? Because they believe it is their business. We need to recorrect that mentality of theirs, that African nations are not their ancestral businesses, and it is not their new generation businesses. You know what? When they have their secret meetings, they wouldn't let any African man be in that meeting, because they still believe that the business is theirs. So whoever leader they have tries to come up with methods, with ideas that will still help them be in check of the resources, the blessings of the African people. We must correct that mentality. As an African child, you must do your very best to correct that mentality, that African nations are not their ancestral businesses. African nations are not their businesses. The resources in Africa are not theirs. They are not the benefits or the proceeds of their ancestral fathers. No, it is African blessings. The resources belongs to African nations. The resources must be mined by the African nations. The resources must be processed by the African nations. The resources must be used by the African child. The resources will be a blessing to all African nations. This we must tell the aliens. This we must tell the colonial factors that these blessings are ours, not theirs, because they still have the mindset that the colonists they created, the colonists they established using force and weapons and religion. These colonies they established is no more the colonies they established. The African child have discovered who he is, and it is time that they are working to ensure that Africa becomes that true archipelago that it has always been. If you want to promote this awareness or promote this discourse to enlighten the African child, see the account on the screen. Whatever you have, drop into it. Drop in the account. It will help us promote this awareness. See you and be a true African child.